We never had to go out and sell Ella, never. And the whole time that I worked for Ella, they always came to us.
We went out for 46 weeks. And she worked almost 46 weeks. I was amazed.
When an irresistible force such as you.
She'd do 2 concerts in one night, one early in the evening, and then we'd fly to another city. Start the second concert at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Fight, 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 fight it with all of our might. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Those particular tours, I know that they were extremely grueling. And as we know now today, you know, the body just, it cannot really take that much.
Ella was now approaching her 50s, and one of the few people she was close to, her half-sister Frances, died in July 1966.
I got the call that the sister died. Well, she came off the stage and went back to her dressing room, and I said, Ella, the hospital called, and your sister is... but I'm ready to go to Philadelphia with you. After the last show, she said to me, you know what? I gotta keep working, because I'm gonna have to take care of those kids. Her sister had 3 kids, and Ella proceeded to adopt them. And she was gonna put them to college and everything else, which she did.
Paradoxically, meeting her greater family responsibilities spurred Ella into touring more relentlessly than ever.
All of you lovely people, I see you like music like me. I like all kind of music, you know, classics.
She loved to play London, Ronnie Scott's. She had been doing big concerts, and then this small club. Ella could feel the wonderful appreciation, and therefore she was able to give more. And people would shout out, sing such and so.
We go to another kind, you know. I want to please everybody, all the music lovers. And there's so many of us here, when we're home alone, I bet we put the same music on and start to do everything that we see the others do, the young ones. I do. And they call the music soul change. Come on, babe, get on with me. Oh, what you say? 1, 2, 3. One on, baby, in the morning. Hey, and now. Running wild. Woo, running, baby. Get into the nose. Morning, dad. Ah, that's enough of that. My whole point, ladies and gentlemen, is no matter whether it's rock, jazz, swing.
In the early 1980s, Ella began to experience heart problems, the result both of her weight and busy touring schedule.
I was really concerned because Ella was only going in for a valve replacement, and then when they opened her up, she actually had, which is a valve replacement is more serious than bypass. She had quintuple bypass surgery, so she had 5 bypasses in addition to the valve. She was not a young woman. And they had canceled all the contracts. They had told everybody that she wasn't going to be working again.
But as Ella began her convalescence, irrepressible jazz scholar Phil Schaap was combing the vaults.
Hey, man, I just found these cool tapes, man. Look what I did.
He'd uncovered one of Ella's greatest performances, her birthday concert in 1958.
These tapes did, in fact, contain a masterpiece. It was discovered in time to do something for her. That record gave her the final, last hurrah. 50 years after Artistica Tasket, she had another #1 record, the Ella in Rome, the birthday concert.
That's what got her going after her operation. She wanted to go back on the stage. She couldn't do anything else but sing. That was her life.
Once in a while, will you try to give one little thought to me? 'Cause I can't help
Being back on stage, where she'd spent so much of her life, had an extra poignancy for Ella. For a number of years, she'd been discreetly using her royalties to fund projects for underprivileged children.
Moments before we two drifted apart.
She found a way of addressing something that she shut away. A kind of healing, perhaps, to be able to go back to that life she had as a child and to put some of the things right that weren't done right for her.
I know that I'll be contented with yesterday's memories, knowing you'll think of me once in a while, once in a while.
Ella had been diagnosed with diabetes. In the early 1990s, complications resulted in her eventually having both legs amputated below the knee.
I figured, well, I wonder why she's in a wheelchair. I went down to kiss her, and I noticed she didn't have one leg, and I thought, well, maybe she's sitting on it. She said, look at what they've done. They've taken my leg from me. And, you know, I had to say, you know, Ella, I'm so sorry. And
She said, but there's nothing wrong with my throat. I'm not singing with my legs. There we were. She was ready to go on. Don't you see, that was her life.
Soon or late, maybe, if you wait, maybe.
After many years of distance between them, Ella's adopted son, Ray Jr., returned to be at her side.
Maybe late.
Her doctor said, you need to come home. Actually, what he said was, your mother has between 8 and 15 months to live. Getting back closer together, it's sort of easy to selfishly look at things that, you know, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. The main thought that I had was I wanted her to be at home.
one day before she died, she looked at me and she said, you know, I don't know, I've had a long career, and there's lots of other singers that have better voices than I do. She says, I just don't know what it was that kept this career going. She looked out in the backyard and turned back to me and said, I know what it is. It's the songs that I sing. That's what the people like. I almost started crying. What do you do when somebody of the stature of Ella Fitzgerald says something like that and totally believes it?
It wasn't a somber feel to the house. We had a trio come in and play 8 hours a day.
And they would play all the songs that she would sing, and she could hear the music. And every now and then, you know, when she was lucid, you'd see her big smile on her face. I think she was probably thinking about what she used to do.
It don't mean a thing. All you gotta do is swing.
Ella would sometimes wake up in the night and be all nervous, and they would say, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she would say, I've got to get ready. I've got to get ready. I've got a concert tomorrow. And they couldn't convince her that she couldn't She didn't have a concert, and so they finally would tell her that, no, Ella, you're wrong, their auntie, you're wrong. The concert's not until next week. You can go back to sleep.
Ella Fitzgerald died on the 15th of June, 1996. She was 79 years old.
Ella and I would talk about clothes all the time. You know, what do girls talk about? And she said, I got myself an outfit and I stopped traffic. That was her favorite expression for herself in clothes. Ella's funeral, oh, that was something not to be believed. We had a motorcycle escort, 8 motorcycles, 4 on each side of the procession. So I said to Ray, Ray, your mother would love this baby. She's stopping traffic. Because we all knew her favorite expression.
I get too hungry for dinner at 8. I love the theater, but I never come late. I never bother with people I hate. That's why the lady is a tramp.
She went where we knew she was going, to the top. I would have liked to seen her last a little bit longer, but life is not fair.
Some voices sound greater than other voices, and her voice sounded so great that it is arguably the greatest voice ever. It will certainly scare singers forever.
Shame on me, I'm a lady, but I'm a tramp.
She is the history of jazz. She's one of the people that makes up the history of jazz. She's a mark that you aim for as a total performer and singer.
I'm broke, it's oak.
If you're aiming for that kind of artistry, you're aiming very high, but yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I'm not so hot, but my shape is my own.
She had her faults. She was childish, but she was a genius. And she had no idea. That's the way she was. And that's why I loved her.
That's why the lady is a tramp. Girls get massages, we cry and we